One of the most important principles of spiritual sex is the art of being gentle during intercourse. When a person begins to participate and practice spiritual sex, the sexual organs will become more sensitive, so that gentle stimulation will feel very pleasurable and more intense. Another very important principle of spiritual sex is to have intercourse slowly. Intercourse should never be a race for a man to see how quickly he can ejaculate. When a man starts to do this, it means he has become bored with his partner and is more addicted to the pleasure of ejaculation than used to his partner's love energy. The love energy cultivated during spiritual sex, once experienced, will make you want to leave the old way of having intercourse as a race to ejaculate and reach climax behind for good. When a man feels that he is nearing orgasm during intercourse, he should slow down or stop until the intensity of the sensation subsides, so that he can then continue to have intercourse without ejaculation. It is the amount of time you spend inside your partner's vagina that will determine how much life force you can cultivate together, not the intensity of a brief sexual encounter. Use this technique of slowing down or stopping for a moment when you are nearing orgasm to increase the amount of time you are having intercourse with your partner. Remember that it usually takes women much longer to become aroused and to reach orgasm during sex, so you need to do everything you can to prolong intercourse to give a woman plenty of time to become fully aroused and reach climax. You should strive to learn to give your partner multiple orgasms. Women can also use this technique of slowing down intercourse when they are on the verge of orgasm to increase the length of an orgasm and turn a single orgasm into multiple orgasms. If a man learns to slow down or stop for a few moments when he is near orgasm, he can learn to stay on the verge of orgasm for longer and longer, and also learn to orgasm without ejaculating. This is also one of the goals of spiritual sex, for a man to learn to control his orgasm so that he can orgasm without ejaculating, and last much longer in bed so that he can give his partner multiple orgasms. Good communication between partners is the best way to let each other know when you want to change speed or stop for a little while. Male and female sexual and spiritual energy. One of the most important things you can learn about spiritual sex is that it is how much female and male sexual and spiritual energy you can blend and mix together that will determine the quality and quantity of your orgasms. I have given several women orgasms without touching them or saying anything to them, simply from the power of blending of pure male and female sexual and spiritual energy. This is absolute proof that orgasms occur because of the presence of sexual and spiritual energy. This means that the longer you can spend on foreplay and develop a spiritual connection, and the longer you can make intercourse last, the more likely the woman is to have intense multiple orgasms and experience the true nature of sex through spiritual orgasms. A type of transcendental sexual and spiritual energy is released when both partners are on the verge of orgasm together. So to really cultivate and harness this energy, you should practice and master the principles of spiritual sex, so that you can both stay on the verge of orgasm for longer and cultivate more transcendental sexual and spiritual energy together. The female orgasm. One of the reasons why so many relationships don't last very long is that men and women don't understand the spiritual nature of sex and lack the knowledge and skills to have good sex together. Women very frequently have more difficulty achieving orgasm than men during intercourse, so the focus should be on the female orgasm. Once the woman has had several orgasms, the man can then focus on his own pleasure. Men who want to experience the intense pleasures of spiritual sex should be aware that female orgasmic energy is very intense and fertile sexual and spiritual energy, and that when combined with male orgasmic energy, male and female orgasmic energy is an extremely potent blend of sexual and spiritual energy that leads to transcendental sexual and spiritual experiences. This is the type of energy you should be striving for in spiritual sex and spiritual alchemy, the mixing of male and female orgasmic sexual and spiritual energy. When an orgasm is lifted from the physical sexual dimension into the spiritual dimension, so that your orgasms are felt spiritually, especially orgasms in the heart chakra, the fertile, transcendental and sexual energy of the orgasm can be felt for days or even longer after orgasm. Sexuality, not sensuality. In order to really say that you have experienced spiritual sex, you need to be able to experience an orgasm in your heart chakra. The kidneys will also fill up with life force that is cultivated during intercourse, so it is important for the male to learn to control his orgasm long enough for his partner's womb to fill with sexual and spiritual energy, which is about 20 minutes to half an hour. This is why spiritual sex is slow and gentle, because the male needs to last long enough for the mixing of male and female energy within his partner's womb to begin rising up to the heart chakra. When the heart chakra begins to fill, the sexual energy has been transformed into love energy, and feelings of bliss and ecstasy will result. This is why foreplay should move in between sexual arousal and sensual arousal. The sensual arousal leads to sexual arousal, and the sexual arousal leads to sensual arousal. So both types of arousal should be nurtured during foreplay. The difference between sexual arousal and sensual arousal is that sexual arousal focuses on the sex organs and the parts of the body that give sexual arousal, while sensual arousal focuses on the parts of the body, such as the stomach and face, that bring about an awakening of the senses in response to sensual pleasure. The purpose of sensual arousal is to make your lover feel loved, and to personalize the love-making experience into an emotional bonding during sexual arousal. This is why caressing the face and stomach and other non-sexual parts of the body during foreplay will deepen the intimacy and personal connection you have with your lover. The most personal place to touch, kiss or caress someone is their face, their lips and their eyes, as this communicates better than anything else that you love your partner for who they are and care about whether or not they feel loved. Sensual stimulation during lovemaking and foreplaying is very healing, and someone who gets lots of it will learn to love themselves and their partner more and more. Sensual stimulation. In order to make stimulation sensual, you should focus your mind and spirit into your hands or lips, or whatever part of your body you are stimulating your partner's body with, and strive to telepathically and empathically communicate through your touch the pleasure and bliss that you are experiencing from the sight, smell, sound, touch and taste of your partner as you sensually stimulate your partner's body. This means that the telepathic and empathic communication and flow of energy should be two-way. You should be communicating telepathically and empathically to your partner what you are feeling and experiencing, and you should be getting back empathically and telepathically the pleasure your partner is experiencing through your hands, lip, heart and mind. This is the key to making foreplay and intercourse transcendental, and why meditation together in order to cultivate a form of telepathic and empathic bond is essential.